Hey everybody, hope you're all having a good day. It's Wednesday, and we're still doing the Attorney Trilogy. We are on Turnabout, the special episode, Turnabout Time Traveler. And we did the investigation first time around, so... For the context for anyone who's wondering, apparently the suspect, the accused... Well, sorry, defendant, I'll probably use the right word. A defendant is, well, accused of murdering, and they've said they went back in time. And we gotta prove that in court and stuff like that. And of course we have to well, our bus came back, as you can see, he's kind of here. And Matt is back as our assistant, so yeah, let's just get into it. For the trial. September 22nd, 8:45 AM, District Court, defendant lobby number 3. Good morning, Mr. Rang. Good morning, Elaine. I see you're still wearing your wedding gown. And they will continue to wear it until our marriage is safe. Oh, Soren! You think he came to say hi? She's holding up? Soren, my love, you came all the way to see. You came all the way to the courthouse just to see me? Oh, Soren, I don't know what to say. Blueprints. Huh? The engine blueprints. I can't find them. You know where they are? Oh, they're in your room. Third shelf in the bottom, on the right-hand side. Ah, I see. He's leaving already? Tell me he came just to ask about some stupid blueprints. Is he really that cool of a person? Or is that just how he comes off, I wonder? Oh, it means Soren! Lillian. He's back? Come home soon. I'm lost without you. Sorry! Later. Looks like showing your vulnerabilities is the fastest way to capture a woman's heart. You take notes on this, Nick. Please leave me out of this. Hey, it looks like Soren isn't big on words. It's clearly because about Liam. No, not. I actually feel kind of relieved. Mr. Ryan, have an eye. Hope you don't get that. I just absolutely can't be found guilty, you hear? Don't worry, I'm going to do everything I can to prove your innocence. Thank you, Mr. Rang. The trial will begin. It's about to start, sir. It's worth. Knowing him, he's not going to yield an inch. So I've got the So just got to fight everything I've got to save Elaine. September 22nd, 9 AM, District Court, courtroom number 5? Damn! One off again. Then one quarter of the session. All rise! Court is now in session for the trial of Elaine 1. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. So many familiar faces is gathered together like this. I feel as though I'm at a grand reunion. Makes me want to go out for a dinner and a drink and reminisce of all of you. Yep. I mean, it looks like Yeah. Sadly, this is going to be the last time we'll ever do it, because I don't think there's going to be any more Phoenix Wright games we stream for a while. Oh well. But yeah, no, the Battlestar stuff looks amazing. We'll just see. Although that's considered as more gears for 3 months of gears. I'm curious how it goes off. How it works. Alright. Let's get to the case. Oh, that sounds like a great idea! I was dying for a real burger the whole time I was away. We could make it a welcome back party for Maya. How about it, Edgeworth? I have no intention of comforting with my enemies. Now then, Your Honor, let us start this trial at once. Oh, so not one flying heard of banter, are you, Mr. Edgeworth? Jokes and good humor are beyond worthless in the court of law. Guess we'll just have to party without him even then. However, after the conclusion of this trial, I might consider joining you for a little welcoming back party. I certainly wouldn't mind an invite, at the very least. He still is emotionally constricted as ever, see. Really is like back in the day. Oh, then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you could please go over the details of this case for us. Feels like it's been about 6 months. Victim was Stuma Gloomsbury, a servant in the Sprocket household. He was in attendance at the wedding reception that occurred from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Mr. Gloomsbury apparently felt some animosity towards Elaine Watt, and so, that after the reception ended at 10 p.m., he assaulted Miss Watt with the intent to kill her. The defendant fought back and ended up killing Mr. Gloomsbury. Oh, in other words, it was justified self-defense, correct? If that's the case, then the defendant might not be criminally responsible. He's right. Worst case scenario, I could go for self-defense to avoid the criminal charges. I wonder if Edgeworth plans to counter that, though. Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Like, props to, like, the elevators at that point. That one. Which is why I'm hoping we get public justice, but if they were doing with the dead, not, then we may need to stay for another 2 or so years. The prosecution's first witness will make my view on the matter clear, Your Honor. Very well, bailiff, please bring in the first witness. I think the original cases in the elevator were probably nice to say. Like the original stuff they did. Please state your name and occupation, witness. Emma Sky, forensic investigator. And I'd just like to say, sir, that being in the same corporate as you is a great honor. Well, that's right. You're a fan of Edgeworth's, aren't you, Emma? We're good friends with them, Mr. Wright. But just this once, I intend to faithfully and fully testify for the prosecution. And I do mean that wholeheartedly. Well, yeah. So I forgot that I tried the Limited One Festival with Exodia / Destiny War stuff. I managed to get a win, except it was because I Harpies better those a back when I was with it. I expect no less from you. Yes, sir. I'm going to do my very best. Looks like you lost the popularity contest with Mr. Edgeworth, Nick. Nah, I really couldn't care less. Sorry, could care less. Besides, she'll see who's the better lawyer once I win this trial. Yeah, maybe then you'll actually really care less. I'll take the sky, if you please. Alright. Run down the case. The murder weapon was a clock called the Timekeeper. The victim was hit from behind, and he fell over right into the lantern. The defendant was spotted then, standing in front of the body holding the murder weapon. The victim was struck twice, by the way. He was struck twice? No, we don't have the autopsy report, damn it! That's right, there's no mistake about it. Ah. Yeah. I suppose what? It was basically... They skipped a few stuff. They changed some stuff to make things faster too, so... But yeah. Maybe we should rewatch it to get some more about, remember, to see some of the stuff. The first blow was to the back of the victim's head. Right, back to this. It was hard enough to knock him unconscious. Yet despite the fact he had been immobilized by the first blow, the defendant delivered a second, fatal blow to the side of the victim's head. Which means, what exactly? I figured it would go right over your head. Let's put it this way. By striking the victim a second time, the defendant killed her last chance to escape any criminal wrongdoing. You did, Madame, Mr. Edgeworth? The defendant may have been fighting back because she was being attacked. However, she then went on to deliver a final blow to a man who was already fully unconscious. Nah, can he say what I think he is? I don't feel so well. Oh yeah, right, I should probably put it aside, Daddy. While I was being aired recently, like the trials and well, some stuff, the episodes lined up with the trial dates as well. But for the light. And thus Mr. Wright has justified self-defense been removed from the table. The prosecution intends to prove that the defendant killed the victim. Murderer's intent. Allow me, blatantly, submit the victim's autopsy report. So that's why he was acting all smug. Well, more smug than usual. It's fine, right? It's not like we're going to plead self-defense anyway. Right, but now the judge has a negative impression on Leon. He may not get the prosecution much anymore, but he definitely hasn't lost his touch. I'm finding out. So, Boonspire's test, your shines have been hit twice. The tank heater was used as the murder weapon. Now then, Mr. Ryan, you may begin your cross-examination. Alright. Hold it! Are you completely sure the murder weapon was the timekeeper? Yes, completely. The shape of the entry in the victim's head matches up with that of the timekeeper. That's definitely how he was to kill someone with. But would the defendant have been able to pick up and swing something so heavy? I tried it myself, and I was able to lift it up just fine. Maybe you're just freakishly strong. Excuse me, Mr. Wright? I'll have you know that people on the force know me as the intently forensic investigator. Ori. Really? You're hardly a delicate flower. That's right. This is a court of law. Save your antics for after the trial, if you know how. Yes, sir. It won't happen again, sir. Moving on. Hold it! The defendant was fighting back against the victim, right? Actually, I just realized there is an anime they could do for the Ace Attorney series to keep us waiting. They could do it on the Great Ace Attorney stuff. And the Esper stuff. And I think about it a bit more, there is room for more enemies in the series. Maybe when the anniversary comes around, we'll get an announcement for it then. Anyway, back to seriousness, I guess. The defendant was fighting back against the victim, right? So, wouldn't she have hit him from the front and not from behind? The victim must have tried to run once Miss Swat started fighting back. That's probably when he got hit from behind. See, thus the blow to the back of the head. The defendant must have looked awfully scary when she was brandishing that clock. I don't know about that. Regardless of how scary Eileen looked, the victim was definitely hit from behind. May I go on? Yes, of course. Please do.
Hold it!
But that's only because she was so panicking when she found the body. And sorry, as she tried to use the timekeeper to go back in time.
Objection!
Mr. Wright, you have any idea how absurd you sound? But Miss Watt really believes she could travel through time with that clock. You really should have come up with a more credible story, you know. Yes, I agree. Be free. That's all I've got to go on. Anyway, under the circumstances, the only conclusion we can draw is that the defendant killed the victim.
Hold it!
Miss Swag must have had a chance to escape after she struck the victim the first time. So why would she stick around and hit him with such a heavy object again? Well, about that, allow me to explain. Why did she strike him again indeed? Finish off the victim, of course. Very act clearly shows that she had every intention of killing Mr. Gloomsbury. And Miss Bob would never do a thing like that. And let's see some evidence that disproves my theory. Are you going to just stand there and take it from... Sorry, are you going to just stand there and take that from him, Nick? I prefer to claim head on. But how to approach it from a different angle? Well, it looks like we won't be going anywhere until we can refute Edgeworth's claim. It's just so exciting! You haven't taken on Mr. Edgeworth in ages! Yeah. Hey Nick, go get him! No need to rush me, Maya. Alright, I better start by comparing Emma's testimony with the evidence we have. And look for any glaring inconsistencies. Standing in front of the vial. Wait, I'm gonna try something.
Objection!
Oh wow, okay. Yeah, it's gonna have to think a little bit for these ones here. Detective Sky, I'm afraid I have to apologize in advance. For what? For embarrassing you in front of your idol. What do you mean? If you take a look at this photo of the crime scene, you'll see that the victim is lying on his back. But if the victim had been hit from behind as you claim, then he should have fallen over into the lantern face down. Ah! It's not enough to simply take someone's side, Detective Sky, even if it's Mr. Edgeworth. Ah! Oh. There does appear to be a flaw in Detective Sky's testimony. Hold it. Mr. Wright, if you think I'm going to just back right down, then you're sadly mistaken. Millicent's usually fired up today. Don't forget, she's in front of her hero, Nick. If the Steel Samurai came to watch this trial, I want to do my absolute best too! Listen, Mr. Wright. It's entirely possible that the defendant moved the victim's body after he fell over. However, in that case, there wouldn't be any contradictions, right? Indeed. That was an excellent counter-argument, Detective. You can count on me, sir. So, what do you have to say to that, Mr. Wright? Is it possible that the victim's body... Oh, I'm gonna play it safe here. Possible the victim's body was moved after he fell into the lantern? Huh. I'm gonna say that. Sorry, Detective, but there's no way the victim's body was moved after his death. Oh, really? And what makes you so sure? One look... Okay. One look at this here, and it should be obvious. I'm going to assume that the hand? Let's try. One second, your point, I'm sorry. Oh, that's right here. What are you trying to communicate is not obvious, Mr. Wright. This penalty should make my feelings on the matter pretty obvious. Even you. The only thing that's obvious right now is the pin in my attorney's badge.
Take that!
Right. I thought about that a bit more. I forgot to save when I did that. That's not too far.
Take that!
Excuse me. I had that. I want to make sure we don't lose any things here. There we go, we can just start back here now.
Take that!
There we go. Those broken bits of the lantern? Yes, if the body had been moved after the fact, these fragments would have fallen off it. But as you can clearly see, they are lying perfectly undisturbed on top of the body. This means that the victim must have been lying face up from before the lantern even broke. You're right! Wait a minute. If that's true, then when was the victim killed? I mean, the lantern was still whole during the reception, right? Right. Which means we've just overturned a major assumption about this case. If the victim was already dead before the lantern was even broken, then the body must have been inside the lantern since before the reception started. In other words, the defense asserts that the victim was killed before the wedding reception. What? In short, when Miss Webb was seen standing in front of the body after reception, it wasn't the moment just after the murder was committed. It was the moment she happened to discover the body, just as Miss Watts claims. Ah!
Objection!
Whatever the act was committed before or after the reception is completely inconsequential. After all, it was the defendant who prepared the reception hall for the event in question. Therefore, when the murder occurred, changes nothing with regards to her guilt. She could have killed the victim before the reception, as you claimed, and then tried to hide his body in the lantern, but after the event ended.
Objection!
Sorry, but that doesn't make any sense. I mean, where would the body have been hidden during the reception in your scenario? That's... Even you have to admit, Mr. Edgeworth, that this has opened up a new possibility. Do explain, Mr. Wright. Well, if Miss Watt didn't commit the crime in the reception hall, then that means someone, somewhere, put the victim's body into the lantern. I suppose that makes sense. But that body couldn't have put itself in there. Exactly, Your Honor. In other words, if the murder actually occurred before the reception, it opens up the new possibility that... Well, easy. We'll try to kill somewhere else on. Okay. If the body was hiding inside the lantern, then it's possible that the body was moved along with it from somewhere else. Oh, you're right. You can run that mouth of yours all you want. But do you have any evidence to support what's coming out of it, Mr. Wright? Of course I do. I think the answer lies in that piece of evidence. And in something that was left at the crime scene that will point us to where the victim was really killed. I was right! In that case, we're brought to the lantern and the body removed from somewhere else. Okay. So I really don't want to jump the gun on this one. I've got a few evidence, so I can put it up. Let's try each one. Let's try this. Nope, this person for honor. Really, I can't say a fault. That piece of evidence won't help you make your point, Nick. Another point in this piece of evidence from the senseless attorney. So this piece wasn't convincing enough. Must be something else that would be easier for the judge to understand. What proves the lantern and the body was moved from someplace else? As I'm gonna get this one. I'm thinking. Guess we'll try the pamphlet.
Take that!
It's not the pamphlet. I feel like I'm getting close to it, but I'm just going off, but then getting distracted.
Take that!
How did I even think that was gonna work? Alright. Should be something that we're now down on Earth. Hey, it's the tried and true Phoenix Wright thing.
Take that!
Why? Okay.
Take that!
I forgot about the flowers. The photo of the victim again? Yes. I'd like the court to focus on this thing right here. Flower petals, Mr. Ryan? These petals are from a kind of flower. Are from a kind of flower that were not present in the reception hall. That means they must have gotten into the lantern when it was somewhere else. And just where you propose this somewhere else to be, Mr. Wright? I propose that this piece of evidence should That's where the flower palace came from. I know this one. Okay, this one I feel a little bit more confident on.
Take that!
Please take a look at the flowers in this picture of the hold. Notice how their petals are of the same shape as the petals in the crime scene photo? Yes, I see. They do look to be from the same kind of flower.
Objection!
Is that really all you've got? A flower is a flower is a flower. They're all the same. I would hardly call what you present compelling evidence. I'm afraid I couldn't disagree with you more, Mr. Edgeworth. I gave a flower of this type to my lovely wife once we were young. But I can assure you that this is very meaningful and compelling evidence indeed. The soundness of my judgment in this matter is backed by nothing less than pure love. But Your Honor... Let's let it go, Edgeworth. It's clear you don't know much about flowers. It's not like you have anyone you actually give it to after all. But maybe you should study up on them, just in case the opportunity presents itself. Arrgh! This is from the man who only knows the names of 3 types of flowers. Let it go, Edgeworth. Lost this argument before. And you've just lost it the second time. You'll make it the third. That's hardly relevant to the case at hand. The defense asserts that it's highly probable that the victim was killed in the hold. If the body was then placed in the lantern and moved to the reception hall for some reason. It would completely destroy the prosecution's case. Then you mean the body was... Yes, the victim's body was... inside the lantern during the entire beautiful wedding reception. While the defendant and her betrothed were celebrating their love. What?
Objection!
Oh. Your smooth talk might work on his honor, but it won't work on me. What are you talking about? Take another look at all of the evidence and you'll soon see what I mean. I wish you would just tell me already. Detect this guy. I'm sure you've already figured out what I'm talking about, correct? Of course, sir. Mr. Wright is the only one here who hasn't. Why don't you leave this to me, Mr. Edgeworth? Very well. Let's see what you can do. Detective Sky! Please give your testimony to this court! The prosecution's rebuttal. The victim could not have been killed before the reception. The autopsy report states that the estimated time of death was after the reception. And that estimated time of death is correct. There's no way I could be wrong. It's clear Mr. Greenspan was killed after the reception. And that's completely contradicts your claim. I guess so. Tell me you took at least a curiosity glance at the autopsy report, Mr. Ryan? It appears you've grown rusty since our last outing. Might I suggest you go back and brush up on the basics? Sure. But I must say, you're as cocky as ever, Mr. Edgeworth. I beg your pardon. What are you trying to say, Mr. Ryan? I'm just saying that I'll go back to the basics. If that's what Mr. Edgeworth wants. I'll prove how badly he underestimates me. He was with a good old-fashioned cross-examination. Hermel! Let's see you put your money... sorry. Let's see you put your money where your mouth is, Mr. Right. Alright.
Hold it!
You sound pretty certain. You must have some solid ground for making that claim, right? Of course I do. And you're going to feel silly when I show you what they are. Ready? Feast your eyes on this.
Hold it!
I've read the autopsy too, you know. Then you don't need me to explain it to you, right? Hi, there's no way the victim could have been killed before the reception, I mean. Detective Sky. I think you've overlooked something big. I have? Why don't you take another look at the evidence? I've already looked at all of the evidence! And quite carefully too, I have, you know. Detective Sky. Do not be taken in by his verbal antics. He is simply bluffing as always. Right, sir.
Hold it!
It is possible that the culprit did something to obscure the real time of death. No, not in this case. There was no snow or anything to keep the body from decomposing. And there's no fridge on an airship big enough to fit a body into. So you've already checked into that, I see. And so all comes down to the estimated time of death, doesn't it? Couldn't the killer mess with the victim's time of death by keeping the body on ice? Yeah, if they had the means to. The prosecution is treating the estimated time of death as an absolute. But is it really? I take it you don't think it is, huh, Nick? In that case, we're gonna have to find a way to convince them otherwise. Yeah. There's gotta be a way somehow. I think I have it. The prosecution's argument.
Objection!
I admit the estimate that I admit that the estimate time of death does contradict my theory. Finally. And that means your theory that the victim was killed before the reception is still entirely plausible. Huh? What makes you think that? The killer could have falsified the time of death by using a certain item in the reception hall. Please take a look at this. What is that contraption, Mr. Ryan? It's a fog machine, Your Honor. Used to create a special romantic atmosphere in the hall. And this machine could have been used to falsify the time of death? Yes, Your Honor. Because this machine uses dry ice to perform its magic. Dry ice? Oh yes! The super concept commonly used to make theoretical frog, right? See, so you claim that this dry ice was used to keep the body cold? Oh. In that case, I guess the victim could have been killed before the reception. Order! Order in the corn! Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do you have to say about this development? That the victim was killed in the hole before the wedding reception? The prosecution acknowledges the possibility of this claim. Now we're getting somewhere. The prosecution would also like to thank you, Mr. Wright. Huh? For what? Sorry. I didn't know how a certain piece of evidence fits into the case. This case. But now, thanks to you, I do. What piece of evidence? To get into the hold, one needs a key card like this one. And here we have a record of those who entered the hold with such key cards. The times are specific, but these are the last entries on the day of the murder. And as you can see, the last person to enter the hold that day was the defendant. What? The one who put the body out of the hole must have been... That's right. It was none other than the defendant. Now we have the whole entry records. A record of the keycard is used to access the whole strip. Hey Nick, take a look at this entry record. There's a couple of other names on here besides Elaine's. Hey, you're right. According to the entry report, Mr. Edgeworth, Pierce Nickledy had gone into the hold. Had also gone into the hold, sorry. Isn't it possible he could be the culprit? Could have been the culprit?
Objection!
Sorry, but Mr. Nickledy was scoring a few of the guests at the time. I'm sure they would be happy to testify to that fact if you like. Think me cocky all you like, Mr. Wright, but my confidence is rarely misplaced. Now then, it's probably safe to assume that after killing the victim in the hold, the defendant moved his body to the hall in order to dispose of it discreetly. Do you mind discreetly? The defendant volunteered to take care of the reception cleanup personally. That means she would have had the chance to dispose of anything in any way she wanted. Including taking the lantern off the airship without raising suspicion. Don't tell me you didn't know about Miss Watts volunteering for cleanup duty, Mr. Wright. For my last task as a servant of the Sprocket household, I offered to take on the preparation and cleanup of the reception banquet. I see. Look at you, sweating bulls like a rookie, even after all these years. Nevertheless, thank you for proving that the only person who could have killed the victim in the hold is... Elaine Watt! Ah! Great job, Phoenix. Now we're back to score one. Perhaps you should ask Miss Sykes for some help in reviewing the fence for dummies. Way to go, sir! There you come, Mr. Wright, in a cold sweat. I wonder if maybe the promise of seeing that miserable look on his face is what brought me back to court today. It certainly made all my stress and woes as chief prosecutor just melt away. I guess he had a lot of stress built up. I'll give him something to stress over before we're through today. Your Honor, the prosecution asks that you render your verdict at this time. Or that man over there tries to throw the court into chaos with his meaningless bluffs. I see, Mr. Wright. Are there any last meaningful bluffs you'd like to resent to this court? Why does he have to assume it'd be a bluff? Yeah, hurry up and throw a good one out there! I will. Well, alright then. Let's see. I've got it! How do you know it was Miss Watt who used her keycard? I don't know. It turned out that somebody else used her card. If it would be Miss Watt didn't do it! Interesting. And how are you able to prove this bluff to be true? I assure you, I'm not bluffing, Your Honor. Oh, now I won. Wait a minute, Nick. I can think of a certain somebody who might have used Elaine's keycard. Keycard? Remember? The one who was sneaking around the hold? in spite of not being a family member? Oh, that's right. Your Honor, the defense would like to call a certain witness to the stand. I need the testimony of this person who may have entered the hold with Miss Elaine's or Miss Watt's card.
Take that!
That's your witness? Are you saying that that numbskull was on the airship? He never breathed a word about that to me. That's not surprising, because Mr. Nickledy told him to keep quiet about it. But Mr. Potts himself admitted it to me. He claimed to have found a way to sneak into the Flying Chapel hold to see Miss Watt. This photo he took and gave to me is proof. Then was it he who moved the lantern with the body inside to the reception hall? You know as well as I that with him, anything is possible. And this is one possibility we should definitely look into. I can't believe this! What in the world is he doing mixed up in all in this? Come on, Mr. Edgeworth. Remember what we've been saying since elementary school? When something smells, it's usually the butts. Exactly. Larry, you'll pay for this! Well, if you want to extract your payment now... He's right up there in the gallery! Yikes! Stays the witness before he makes a run forward! No! Why does this stuff always happen to me? Sorry, Larry, but you brought this upon yourself. Let's take a break for a 15-minute recess. I ask that both sides prepare for the next witness testimony during this time. September 22nd, District Court Defendant Lobby number 3. Wow, it's been a while since I've had this much fun on an assignment. A face-up against Edgeworth? A Halloween tightrope walk for the defense? Whew, I'm exhausted already. Boss! I'm here for moral support! Fina, are you done practicing for Juicy's magic show? Well, to be perfectly honest, I sort of ran away. But that's because she was putting my life in danger, I tell you! See, I think I'll need to have a one-on-one with her. You're really like a fit, Fina. So Trucy probably thinks she can run you ragged. That may be true. Which is why not even Trucy can keep up with me when I run at full speed. Ha! Looks like you spoke too soon, Fina. Never underestimate the resourcefulness of a grip magician. Huh? Magical Girl, treasure right! It's on the scene! Alright, Fina, it's time to practice human combustion magic! Go on, dodge yourself in this gasoline! But don't worry, it's a magic trick after all, so it's perfectly safe. Run away! Hey you! You're not getting off that easily! They get along so well, don't they? It reminds me of the good old days. You, me, and Pearly. You, me, and Pearly say, oh, and Detective Gumshoe. Can't forget him. We had all kinds of fun at the crime scenes back then, remember? Leaving me to do all the serious investigations, I recall. Court will be back in session, Mr. Wright. Right, thank you. So Larry's the next witness, right? I can't wait to see what happens. Sadly, I can already imagine it. September 22nd, District Court, Courtroom number 6. Oh, but now we're reconvene! Nick! Edgy! I tell you you're gonna hang me out to dry, aren't you? No, not the both of us. Just Mr. Wright. Nick! How could you? I don't really think he did it, of course. But I gotta use whatever leads I can. Mr. Butts, there's a possibility that you moved the lantern that had the dead body in it. Do you want to clear yourself of any suspicions? All you have to do is testify. Oh, then your testimony, please, witness. Nick's a jerk face. Ah, I get they must have a lot of fun with these special episodes, considering that the last one had the this in the finish line, and now testimony is just Nick as a jerk face. Nick, you big fat sticking jerk! How could you do it? Sorry, how can you doubt your best bud? We've known each other since elementary school. Well, get this, pal. Our friendship's over. Oh, go ahead, Mr. Wright. He's all yours. Fine, man! You're the one who called him to the stand, so he's your responsibility. Thanks, old chum. Can't any of you show me a little respect? Even just a shred? You may cross-summon the witness. You're Mr. Wright. My word. If there were any testimony to cross-summon. Please. Because please tell me the saving has the thing on this. Please. Aw, it's just cross-summoning Larry. Aw. I'm slightly sad. Come on, Larry. Would you please give me something real to work with? Don't think I don't know about your tricks. If I say something careless, you're gonna shove some evidence at me with a load. Objection! Answer a small look on your face. Yeah, well, that is my job. And if I'm found guilty, how are you gonna take responsibility for what you've done? Why should I take responsibility for just doing my job? You heartless jerk, don't you have any compassion for me?
Hold it!
I'm sorry, Mr. Butts, but if it wasn't Miss Watt that entered the hole with that card, then you're the most likely suspect. Heck, are you seriously doubting the innocence of your old childhood friend? Well, technically yes, but it isn't personal, I assure you. Oh, a true friend would have believed me no matter what. How'd you see my tears? Don't they mean anything to you? Nick! Nick! Don't really think you can cry your way out of this, do you? Okay, fine. In that case.
Hold it!
Larry, listen to me. Shut up! I'm not talking to you anymore. This is getting us nowhere. Come off it, Larry. You don't quit fooling around and start testifying, Miss Watts will be found guilty. For real? If no other information comes out of this cross-examination, then yes, Miss Watts, for real. Not that I would have a problem with that myself. Larry, just tell us the truth already. Did you or did you not get into the hole and move the lantern up to the reception hall? I never moved any bowl lantern, I tell you! Bowl lantern? What? Did I say something weird? You told me that you didn't attend the wedding reception. Did you believe they told me only family and relatives could attend? They wouldn't even let me into the reception hall. Yeah, so what? Then that's on. No one in this courtroom ever mentioned the sex of the lantern that was moved. So how could you know that it was a bull lantern? You didn't have to actually go to the reception to do that. Anyone could have... anyone could tell that the two Pega Bulls... that there were two Pega Bulls by looking at the Flying Chapel's pamphlet. What I can tell right now is there's a strong sense of bull in the air here. Please add the last statement to your testimony, Mr. Butts. Anyone could tell that there were two Pega Bulls by looking at the Flying Chapel pamphlet.
Hold it!
Seriously, Larry? If you're hiding something, you better fess up now. I'm telling you, I don't know nothing! Why do you have to doubt me so much? Why? Because you're you, that's why! Gee, Nick's being awful to me, don't you? So tell Nick what a big meanie he is! I would, if I thought he was being one. And you too! Why doesn't anyone ever take my side? I wish I didn't have to doubt him. But something about what he just said doesn't add up. You finally got a decent statement out of him, huh, Nick? Yeah, finally. Sure took a lot of work, though. I hope all of this leads somewhere. Well, he has definitely screwed up. But that's Larry for you. Wait, why did I put that back?
Objection!
Why did I put the evidence back? I should have presented it. I want you to take a look at this, Mr. Putz. Because unfortunately for you, the pamphlet clearly shows the Pega Cow and Pega Bull in their sample diagram of the reception hall. Uh-huh. But on that day, instead of putting a Pega Cow and a Pega Bull out for the bride and groom, there were two male Pega Bulls on display. Eh? Yet somehow, you knew there were two Pega Bulls in the reception hall that day. There's only one way you'd know something like that, Larry. It was you who moved the Pega Bull to the reception hall, wasn't it? Ah! No! Harry! You didn't! Mr. Butts! Did you move the lantern containing the victim's body into the reception hall? That's what... That's what it looks like. What? Well, that... But wait, Nick! You don't think I'm the murderer, do you? Maybe you, Mr. Clune, Miss Mary were fighting over Miss Watts, and you ended up killing them? Not you too! Like, I did sneak into the reception, but that's as far as it went. You know me, I wouldn't hurt a fly! You snuck into the reception? Yeah, sure. But some of the sprockets men in his caught and locked me up in one of the cabins. It was pretty awful, actually. But then when I made that drawing of the pterodactyl I showed... I'm sorry. But that's when I made that drawing of the pterodactyl I showed you, Nick. Next day on the Aerodactyl prey, Larry. Is that right? Not even you would take this farce that far, would you? We are talking about Larry. What do? Did I accuse Larry of being the true culprit? I'm gonna say I'm gonna say no. I'll be a little nice to him for now and see what happens. No, you're right, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Butts didn't have a reason to kill Mr. Gloomsbury. He might have an imaginary reason to kill Soren Sprocket, sure, but not Mr. Gloomsbury. After all, he did steal Mr. Sprocket's bride and tried to live with him. With her. I live with her. Just because I tried to steal somebody's bride doesn't make me the murderer. I believe you, Larry. And I don't think you killed anybody either. You wouldn't do anything like that. You said you would never do anything like that. Go buddy, old pal. I knew you'd come for me. Funny that, considering your sworn testimony just denied that we were free. Mr. Butts, it's time you told this court the whole truth. Understood? Moving the lantern. It's just like Nick said. I'm the one who moved the lantern. I was poking around the reception hall before the main event and saw a lantern was broken. There was no one instead exchanged with the one in the hold, Elaine. So I decided to do Ellie a favor. So you switched the lanterns before the reception, did you? And that means the victim really was killed before the reception. It looks like it's been updated in the court record. The lantern in which the victim's body was found, Larry wheeled it from the hole to the reception hall before the reception began. It would appear that Mr. Butts completely fell for the defendant's scheme. Scheme? What scheme? This note from the defendant, exchanged with the one from in the hole, Elaine. Mr. Butts moved the lantern with the body in it up to the reception hall because of this note, and thus he has become a suspect in Mr. Gloomsbury's murder. That second lantern did feel pretty heavy, but I never thought I never would have thought there'd be a dead body in it. There was a dead body in it. What was a note like that doing on the lantern in the first place? Hold it. Got all wrong, Mr. Edgeworth. I left that note for myself. It was simply a reminder because I can be very forgetful.
Objection!
What a sorry excuse, Miss Watt. The prosecution contends that this note shows one to the defendant's murderer's plan. And you, Mr. Butts, you play right into Miss Watt's hands. No way, Auntie! I don't believe it!
Objection!
Do you still really believe Miss Watt to be the culprit, Mr. Edgeworth? Of course. My stance on the matter remains unchanged. If you think I'm wrong, then prove it with your cross-examination. Attorney Jason's hoping for me today. Gladly. Everyone must be alright! You may cross-examine the witness! Also, Jason, you missed it. We have one of the best testimonies in Spirit of Justice. It was literally called Nick is a Jerkface. No, that's what the archives are for, though. Alright. What Larry got up to? Okay, I'm a little happier with this one. Anyway. Why didn't you tell us sooner? Because I knew you guys were going to be suspicious of me, that's why! You're suspicious of you now because you tried to hide it. My fault exactly. Well, now I've told you. Happy? So happy, let me go! No, not yet. We need to stick around to sort a few things out. Fine!
Hold it!
The lantern you swapped out was a female Pegamoo. A Pega-cow, right? Yeah, I guess. Why did you replace a female lantern with a male one? Because I was too busy trying not to get caught. I didn't have time to check for the little details like that. If you didn't want to get caught, you could have just left well enough alone, you know. Whatever! Anyway, when I took a look at the broken lantern, I saw... Oh, wow. Wow. Hopefully it doesn't cost much. Oh. I was going to reread that! That note wasn't addressed to you, was it? Well, I guess not, but... How can I let my dear sweet Ellie do all that hard physical labor on her own? It's precisely that thought process that constantly gets you in trouble, Larry. That was my big chance to show her how much I care for her. Okay.
Hold it!
Nobody saw you the whole time while you were switching the lanterns? Nope, I didn't get caught. Not that time anyway. Not that time? Yeah, when I tried to sneak into the reception hall the first time. I did have as much luck. Those sprocket guys spotted me and knocked me. All of my words are failing me right now. Pretty exciting, don't you think? Hurry, you need help. Then they locked me up in one of the cabins. Nick, what are you asking me about stuff like this for anyway? Should you be trying to prove Ellie's innocence? Well, is that statement as important to the case? Yeah, we'll say it's important. Mr. Butts tried to crash the reception, subsequently getting locked up in a cabin. I believe these might be important facts in this case, Your Honor. Very well, Mr. Butts, please add that statement to your testimony. I tried to sneak into the reception hall, but I got caught and got locked in a cabin. Locked up in a cabin. So you got locked up? Then what happened? I broke out! Then I started looking for Al, and wandered into the reception hall again. That's when I saw the broken lantern, and replaced it. Even after they caught you and locked you up, you still went looking for Miss Watt? But, hold on a minute. What is it, Nick? Hiya, doesn't something seem weird to you? Larry's saying he replaced the lantern after he broke out of the cabin. That's right! Oh wait! Huh? You're right, it doesn't make much sense, does it? That's right! Have you found the inconsistency in the witness statement? Yes, I believe so, Your Honor. Mr. Butts moved the lantern after he broke out of the cabin. But that contradicts with this. Gotta think. Yep. I think it's the photo?
Take that!
One in... This is that piece of evidence contradicts. Doesn't contradict it at all, does it? Indeed. Oh, don't mind me, Your Honor. It looks like I just made a tiny mistake. That's all.
Hold it!
Alright. Well, at least we can take 9 shots of this.
Take that!
Nope. I mean, again, we're not taking punish, so I can actually
Hold it!
take as many tries as I can. Let's roll the drawing out. It's a Hail Mary, but we'll see if it goes anywhere.
Take that!
Well, it's not the Hail Mary.
Hold it!
Is it the
Take that!
Okay, it's not the pamphlet this time. I'm...
Hold it!
Oh... Like I said, we're not getting punished for this, so I can actually go do the tried and true Phoenix Wright method.
Hold it!
Percent things so you get the right answer.
Take that!
Stunt! Yes. Yep. Although we probably should have thought about that more first. Rather than just doing the percent everything till it works method. It's the broken lantern, Your Honor. Mr. Butts! What you're saying doesn't make any sense at all. What? Why not? You swapped the lantern before the reception began, right? Yeah. That's what I said, isn't it? But you also just said you swapped the lanterns after you got locked up in the cabin for trying to sneak into the reception. In other words, you're saying you swapped the lanterns both before the reception and after the reception took place. That certainly doesn't make any sense, does it? But did you swap the lanterns before or after the reception? Which is it? Before or after? There's a world of difference between the two. Well, Mr. Butts, I guess I can't expect you guys like guys like you to understand. In a nutshell, it was both before and after the reception. What? I tried to sneak into the first reception and got locked up. First reception? Uh-oh. I don't like where this is going. Then, for the power of Ellie's pendant, time got rewound, and we went back to the time before the reception. It was after that when I replaced the lantern. So it was before the reception and after the reception. Get it? We went back in time before the reception. Of course the reception would take place one more time after that, right? That's why I said it makes perfect sense. Mr. Wright, what in the world is the witness talking about? Has he developed some sort of intellectual ailment I'm not aware of since I saw him last? Well, none of the sprockets seem to remember the time skip, but I do. I remembers too. Remembers it too. I think the power of our love for each other made that Mario happen. Right! I'm sorry, bud. Would you please translate this man's gibberish so the rest of us can understand? Now I have to be the one to explain about the whole time travel thing. Go on, Nick. I know you can do it. Okay, looks like you don't have much choice, Nick. Alright. To heck with it. I can't lose any more of my dignity today anyway. The defendant, Miss Anemont, has told the defendants the following strange story. She said that after the reception ended, she was attacked by Mr. Gloomsbury. She claimed that, as she was being assaulted, she made a wish upon her pendant. Please take me back to that blissful moment. Sorry, back to that blissful moment. In doing so, time apparently rewound itself to just before the reception began. It what? I know it's hard to believe, but think about it this way. Through the power of the pendant, both Elaine and Larry Butts experienced time travel. What?
Objection!
What absolute rubbish! Right, I've heard my fair share of your nonsense over the years. But this takes the cake! Have you thoroughly lost your mind?
Objection!
This is simply the conclusion I came to. Using that logical ability you love so much. What? Truth of the matter is, the future president of the Sprocket Avalion, Soren's rocket, has been researching time machines. So what if a time machine has already been successfully created? And what if that's one of Sprocket's Avalation's top secret inventions? A time machine? Yeah, I've even seen something while we were time traveling. I saw a pterodactyl flying through the sky. Maybe the airship was set to travel through time for the honeymoon trip? What? Pterodactyl?
Objection!
You can't possibly have any evidence to back up your ridiculous time travel story. Well, as I thought. In any case, I now have the evidence to prove that you're no more intelligent than Larry. Not so fast, now, Hedgie. I'm not the same old Larry you used to know. Oh? You want evidence? I've got your evidence right here. This is what I secretly took at the first reception. What? What? Larry, I can't believe you. Well, anyway, good job. If you compare the photos of the first and second receptions and can find a difference, then we'll be able to prove that the reception was held twice. But do you really think such a difference exists? Yes, Your Honor. I just need some time to find it for you. This is preposterous. Very well, please show the court what's different then. This is proof that... Sorry. This is proof positive the wedding reception was held twice. Time travel is real! Alright, Ed.
Take that!
Please direct your attention to Miss Watt's bouquet of flowers. In the photo one of her in-laws took, the defendant was holding a yellow bouquet. But in the photo Mr. Butts took, she is holding a red bouquet. You're right! That's impossible! What does this mean? I know. It means that the defendant really did experience two wedding receptions. And she did that when she traveled back through time. What? It's funny if we can travel 8 days into the future. We could actually probably streaming on. Nick! You did it! You proved the latest time travel story to be true! The Stallion in our world. No such thing as cysts. I mean, yeah, that was the plan. Why do you think I'm going for this? Why do you think I spent this entire month going for this game, particularly for the weekday? Turning that. Okay, there could have been 2 reasons, or 1 reason, but still, I think the pushing your door was the big one. You did. You proved the intent chose to be true. Yeah, I can hardly believe it myself. It's just as Lynn said. The reception was held twice. This turns every assumption we've based this trial on upside down.
Objection!
I refuse to accept such a ludicrous argument. It is pure fiction under the guise of pseudo-science at best. There is simply no such thing as time travel! I know it's hard, but can't you suspend your disbelief for 1 nanosecond, Edgeworth? I bet sci-fi movies push all your buttons the wrong way, don't they, Mr. Edgeworth? I can totally picture you yelling, "That'll never happen!" every 5 seconds on the screen! Maybe you should stay away from the movie dates altogether. That's neither here nor there! Wow, my widow. Oh man, that was quite savage to a degree. This is real life we're talking about. Want the proof is clearly shown in the 2 photographs? That's right, Mr. Edgeworth. No matter how you... Fine, I'll entertain your absurd delusions. If only to demolish it before your very eyes. What? Let's start with this then, shall we? There's one thing your time travel theory fails to explain. And that is the memories of the other guests there. The defendant and Larry remember the reception occurring twice. But no member of the Sprocket family has ever mentioned such a thing. That's because the time machine is class... technology... I'm not done, you bird brain! Bird brain! As I was saying, if the entire family had been sworn to secrecy, then why haven't they sworn the woman who was marrying into a family of secrecy, no? That's a good point. Honestly, all it takes is a little common sense, Mr. Wright. Even so, how do we know that the trip through time did not really occur? There is proof in the photo that it did, and besides, if time travel doesn't exist, well, I'd be a little disappointed, frankly. I was wanting to go back to the days of my youth. You mustn't allow yourself to be taken in by Mr. Wright's whimsical tales, Your Honor. I've read about in various literature, you see. And they all say that time travel is not just logically feasible. Your argument is just a little too nonsensical, Nick. Well, in that case, why don't we put common sense to the test? Excuse me? The wedding reception was held twice. The photos are proof of that. But it wasn't because of time travel. It's simply because the reception had actually been held twice. Isn't that the most reasonable way to interpret the situation? Would you care to elaborate, Mr. Ryan? Time travel doesn't exist, then the only way to make sense of what happened. Somebody must have orchestrated this strange phenomenon, and that somebody is... Everyone in the reception. What if all of the guests of the reception conspired together to hold the reception twice to keep quiet about it? What? And for what purpose would they conspire to do such a thing? Well, for deduction offense. Oh, I can tell that you are not. Sorry, I can tell that you are not a renowned lawyer for nothing. I must say, I underestimated you. How so, Mr. Nicolay? You have managed to name each event precisely as they happened. You have revealed it all to the light of day. Then that means it was us. We orchestrated the whole thing. Yes, the reception was held twice. But not because of time travel, no. We simply held it a second time. What? Why? Why would you do such a thing? To make it as though the murder Miss Elaine committed never happened. Master Soren figured that if Miss Elaine, who killed Gloomsbury after the first reception, experienced the reception one more time, she would think it was all a dream. It was he who ordered us to make it happen. However, only a few, myself included, knew of Miss Elaine's crimes. Are you saying that most of the guests attended to reception without knowing why? Indeed. They needed no reason. Master Soren told them to do it, and so they did, and do what they did. That is the Sprocket way. Then who hit the body in the lantern? We did. But we did not anticipate the pedals finding their way in, nor the action of Mr. Butts. And that's how you intend to cover up the whole that's how you intended to cover this whole situation up. There is just one thing everyone here has wrong. The real scene of the murder was not the hold. It was the visa deck. What? Then Miss Watt's recollection of the events must be correct. I admit we tried to cover this incident up. But the fact that Miss Elaine killed Bloomsbury is undeniable. That is quite a turn of events! And so it appears we have arrived at the truth at last. Nye. Please do feel free to travel back in time, Mr. Wright. And attempt to do this trial all over again. Go on. It's not bet you figure. I don't bet you. That's the fourth wall there, right there. Let's not get hasty, Edgeworth. I bet you can't do it! I bet I can't either! Your Honor, we will now have to hold a separate trial for the cover-up conspiracy later. As far as this case goes, I believe we are ready for your ruling.
Objection!
Just before the defendant lost consciousness during her attack, she said she saw someone strike the victim. It's possible this third party is the true culprit.
Objection!
You still want us to believe the defendant's words? Perhaps you've lost more than your touch during your time abroad? This third person nonsense is nothing but rubbish, and you know it.
Objection!
But by the same token, how can we trust those who conspire and lie to fool this court of law? For all we know, they might still be hiding something. You never know when to quit, do you? Oh no! Calm down, both of you! In any case, there isn't enough trustworthy information yet for me to render a verdict. I suggest we continue this trial after both sides investigate this matter further. Very well, Your Honor. Oof, that was close. So, Nicolene! As for you and your cohort's attempt to cover up this crime, your case will be brought to a separate trial following the resolution of this current one. Understood, Your Honor. Well then, this concludes today's trial. Court is adjourned. I have a feeling the investigation is going to be like 2 hours, so we'll call it early. We'll call it a break now. Well, also right now, and we'll do next. This next tomorrow. So we'll wrap things up here. We'll do a little. Obviously, we'll just keep this bit by bit. So we'll wrap things up here. Hope it was week. We'll be back on this tomorrow for investigation. And I think we're very close. It feels like we're getting close to this one. But no, we'll see how things go. So with that being said, I'll see you next time. Bye.